Hey Matthias, where are you?
Hey Sebastian, I'm on my way. Sorry, I'm running a little late today. Can you keep them busy for just a few minutes before I get there?
Okay, I try to. Yeah, I try to.
Okay, I'll be there
So
right
hurry,
away.
man.
Bye.
Okay, see ya.
I'm here.
Perfect.
I made it just in time.
So you ready?
I am. Hi and welcome back to another episode of reviewing your underwater films. I'm so ready today, I can tell you.
You look ready, yeah.
Yeah, great to have you all here with us again for today's episode. Now, how have you been this week?
I'm good. I'm looking forward for another review.
Excellent. Yeah, no crazy stuff happening to you this week?
No.
No. Okay, well, that's fine. Then don't talk to
You
me
want to
about
tell
it.
you want to tell us a crazy story?
No, I don't.
Okay, you don't.
No, I don't. No,
Well, but
this-
I can tell you
Please.
from whom the review today.
That would be very helpful.
Yeah.
Why don't we
all
go
right.
ahead with that?
Then the review of today is from Joel Loudermilk, and he was filming with his GoPro Hero 10 and the backscatter flip filters.
Cool.
And I think he said two lights in the Red Sea.
In the Red Sea. I always like seeing stuff from the Red Sea.
Yeah, it's
so,
always nice.
do we know anything else?
No, he was just talking about a little bit settings. He said something about like 4K, 120 frames per second.
Oh, so he filmed everything in 120?
Yeah, it says so in his email.
Nice.
Yeah.
So hopefully there's going to be some good slow motion for us to
We'll
see.
see, yeah.
Okay, so shall we have a look at that video?
Of course.
Let's do it. GoPro sponsored. Nice. Honor to dolphins. Plenty of shoots too. Brilliant positions. I'm a little jealous. I've never had conditions like this. I usually get rough seas. Strong winds. This video is not made for kids. All right, thank you so much, Joel, for your submission and this nice piece of content that we were able to watch, even though it was a little long. But we'll get to that in a minute. Before we go into the feedback of that film that we just saw by Joel, let's take a quick break and thank our video sponsor of today's video and the entire series here, the good people at Divefog. Now, Divefog is the to date only manufacturer that makes an underwater smartphone housing that makes you capable of using the actual touchscreen of your smartphone underwater. And I personally, and I know that you do use it as well, I use it a lot when I'm out and about filming, whether that is just for my personal enjoyment. I usually just have my my iPhone 15 Pro Max with me in a Divefog housing, or even if I'm professionally filming for a project, I oftentimes have the Divefog with me and my smartphone in there to just take some vertical shots that I can't really take very easily with my big rig, but with the smartphone and the Divefog, it's very easy to take some vertical shots quickly. So I have some B-rolls, some social media content that I can quickly share and use that way. So that's also an application where the Divefog system comes in very, very handy. Even if you do have a larger system, you can always just carry your smartphone in your pocket while diving with you, pull it out and grab some B-roll shots here and there so you can share it right away after you dive on your preferred social media platform. So Divefog, thank you very much for supporting the channel and sponsoring this video. And as always, for all of our viewers, Divefog is also extending an extra 6% discount on your next purchase. If you want to get yourself a Divefog housing or any of the accessories, simply use the code Matthias Lebo at checkout and you'll get a 6% discount automatically applied to your purchase. Thank you, Divefog, for that great offer. And now, let's get into reviewing Joel's film, and I'll pass on the word to you because I've been talking for a little too long now.
All right.
So, share with us your impression on Joel's work.
Yeah, talking about pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, Joel had some pretty cool shots in there.
Right.
I liked the shots of the sharks and like the way he started with the intro and just going underwater.
Yeah.
At the beginning, we had a little faster pace going up and down, but it was cool. It was entertaining. Some cool camera movements. Yeah, was nice. But you said it at the beginning. The length is kind of a problem. It depends a little bit from which perspective you look at it. If it's like, I don't know, not a documentary, but like a report about the dive trip report, yeah. And I think it's okay. It could be a little bit shorter, but like today for like on YouTube, on social media, some people who weren't on the trip, it's definitely too long.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think that this is stretching it a little too much, Joel. I see the intention. You wanted to include as much as possible from the trip, and I think that, as Sebastian said, you found actually a nice rhythm of showing underwater sequences and then sequences on top. Whereas I have to be honest, most of the sequences on the boat, on the liveaboard, where you were filming people, in conversation and stuff, and filming them smiling into the camera, and some of the people were reacting a bit odd being on camera. I didn't really know what to do. I personally, I wouldn't really have included those shots. I think they're not really adding much to the whole thing from someone who hasn't been on the trip. I mean, that might be completely different if some of the persons that are in the video are watching the video. For them, it has a different sentimental value. It's going to be a slightly different story for them. But maybe this is something that you would want to hand out to them as kind of a gift that you make for them throughout the trip, and as a memory they can keep from of that trip that they've been with you on the liveaboard. But as Sebastian said, I wouldn't really upload that on social media. I really think it's too long, and I doubt that. Like, if you go into the statistics of that video, I doubt that many people will actually watch through the entire video. You'll probably find that a lot of people will jump off the video after the first couple of minutes at the latest. It's just like nowadays people don't really tend to watch content for that long on social media platforms. So we should kind of adjust to what the situation is like nowadays. So I would try to keep it shorter. Now, you counted how many parts there were in the video, right?
Yeah, well, and that's what I want to say is like, you have kind of two options. You go more the way of the first video, like the first part, which is like fast paced and fast cuts and like a mixture, and do it like, I think, a highlight video.
Yeah, like the intro was, right?
Yeah. The beginning, the beginning part, or you just split it from dive side to dive side, and then make different videos from every dive side, and you can use the slower pace and use more footage.
Yeah.
And you have more time because you split it off in obviously more parts.
Yeah, because now we had like nearly 20 minutes divided by 7, so you'd end up with like 2.5 minutes worth of footage for each of these individual parts, which would actually be a very nice, length for a piece like that. And also it gives you more content that you can share. So it's not just one piece that you're sharing once, but you have like 6 or 7 pieces that you can share over a certain amount of time, which algorithms like better than just sharing one piece of equipment. And this is just from a perspective of, trying to get more traction on your social media account. It's going to work better if you have more regularly uploaded content rather than just one piece that is longer, but only uploaded once onto your accounts that way. Right. Okay. So the length aside, what else have you noticed that you would like to share with Joel?
I think one part that Joel could work on is like the selection of the footage, quality-wise and kind of repetitive-wise. So I think there are some shots where the quality is not as good as from others. Like, I don't know, maybe it's like too noisy because the GoPro is struggling. The color correction can't be done in a very nice way. Footage is shaky, or it's like in a repetitive way, is like we see a reef over and over again. Maybe not the same reef, but the framing and all the stuff is again the same. Or the divers.
Well, you can't exchange the diver throughout a trip, can you?
But I mean, like the perspective of the divers.
All right, okay.
It's like okay, it's the 10th shot of a diver from behind.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I get that. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah. I see what you're saying, and I think I agree on all of these points that you're making. I also want to quickly just go into like stuff that I liked about Joel's film, and you were mentioning most of them before with like the composition. I really enjoyed like the revealing shots that you had inside the video, where you were just panning from bottom up or from left to right or the other way around. I think that worked quite well in revealing the scene before you went into like a closer shot. So you've done that quite nicely and used a variation of different types of shots to show us the different aspects of of the topography and the reefs and everything that you've dived. I actually also enjoyed the naming of the marine species. I know that Sebastian's not a big fan of that. I do like that. I do like seeing what the names are of these species. I think that if you do want to go that way, though, you should really stick to it, and you should be naming as many of the species as you can. And it was in your video, it was sometimes it was there, sometimes it wasn't, and I couldn't really find out what was sort of the criteria when you would put the names in there and when not. And the only way I can figure it out is some of the species you found out what they were and others you didn't, so you didn't include them. But if you want to go down that road, I would really try to stick to naming as many of them as you possibly can, and also try to keep the name tag, the lower thirds, the animation that comes in, try to keep it in the same place. It was shifting from like I think from the bottom to the top and from one side to another side from time to time. Just for consistency reasons, I would try to keep it always in the same place. So you us as viewers don't get surprised by seeing text appear on different parts of the video. I just find it, I don't know, more calming if I know that the names of the animals will always appear in the same place. But maybe that's just me. So maybe that's just a personal thing. One other thing that I would like to mention here when we talk about the stuff that I didn't like so much is the stability on the macro shots. The stability on your wide angle mid shots, that was perfectly fine, but then you had a couple of macro shots included as well of like nudie branches and stuff, and the stability there wasn't quite at the same level as with the other shots. So maybe you can play around a little more with post stabilization in post-production, or just be a little more careful in the way you actually film those sequences by trying to really pay attention to your buoyancy and how you film those clips. Another thing is the touching of the turtle. There was one scene in the film where your buddy, I guess, was, I don't know what he was doing, like touching or fist bumming or whatever the turtle. It looked like he was touching the turtle, which I don't think is a good thing to show in a video. You should not really be touching marine life. So even if it happened, just don't include it in the video. Just cut it out, please.
Yeah, and in addition to that, I would not include filming my dive computer when I'm exceeding the MOD.
Yeah, I've got that down here too. Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't do that. I mean, these things happen. They have happened to probably most of us already at one point or another. But you don't really want to be, advertising unsafe diving practices. Unsafe diving practices in a video. It doesn't really shine a very good light on you, and it doesn't really shine a very good light on the diving operation that you're with. So the sea serpent, I don't know what I would think about, or what I'm thinking about sea serpent for allowing divers to exceed their MOD on a dive with nitrox. I don't know. Most people probably don't like that too much, and I don't like it either. So I would just, as you said, not include that in the film at all. Just cut that out. Right. What about story? Have we gotten a story in this whole piece? Because we've got a fairly long piece now with nearly 20 minutes.
Wow, we got not kind of story, more like a report. We're going to dive site, we're entering the water, we see the divers, and then we go in the water, see the marine life, then come back going next. So it's not like just random. There's some kind of like order behind it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it a story, but there is some kind of order. It's not totally random.
There is some sort of a sequencing, some sort of a structure in the whole video, which I agree on that too. Yeah, so it from that perspective, not bad, but again, it's just too long. Keep it shorter, and you can still keep that kind of order in there if you really want to, but keep it a little shorter for our taste, I would say. Just one quick mention here. We haven't really mentioned that before. We didn't show you the entire video of Joel before because it is this long. We didn't want to include the entire video. We just showed you certain sequences of the video. The entire video, as always, will be linked down in the video description below. So if you want to see the entire 20-minute long video, you can hop over to Joel's YouTube channel and watch it over there. And at the same time, you can also see what other content he's got on his YouTube channel there. Have you got anything else that you would like to add?
Yeah, I have one thing which is color related.
Yeah.
And I think, well, he mentioned in his email that he was using a filter or a filter system. So I assume he was using a red filter.
Yeah.
But I had the feeling that sometimes either he wasn't using it or it was not like dense enough for the depth he was in.
Not strong enough.
It's like we had some shots I think that were really bluish and they were lacking kind of contrast.
Yeah.
I don't know. You saw that, but
I did. Yeah, I did see that. I agree.
I'm not sure if it's all about the filter. I think some could be compensated with a little color correction. I think some parts are definitely from the GoPro, which is struggling then with the white balance.
Yeah, well, this is difficult to say. We don't really know whether Joel has used the filter in these situations or he has not. But it does look to me as well like the filter wasn't used, or as you say, I think the filter wasn't used because there's just not enough contrast in those images. And I can probably guess why this is the case, because using the filter in the appropriate density and intensity would have probably just caused a too dark image with the GoPro. And the GoPro, we all know, doesn't really handle low light situations too well, so it will just be very noisy. And I'm guessing that Joel just made that compromise in that situation or in these situations to not use the filter and hence get more light and just a brighter image that way, but sacrificing the colors and the contrast.
But nevertheless, one way of trying to counterbalance that is like going into the color correction and try to counterbalance with a little bit more red, definitely a little bit more contrast. Even if it's bluish, just give it a little bit more pop. And
exactly.
make it nicer.
Yep, you can definitely do that.
But I agree with the GoPro. I wrote that down. Don't push the GoPro too hard. There's some footage where you could see that the GoPro was pushed too hard.
Yeah, that's actually a good saying. Don't push the GoPro too hard. We should put that on. We should put it on a T-shirt.
Be a hero. Don't push it too hard.
I like that. We should make a T-shirt like that. Let us know if that's a good T-shirt slogan. Be a hero. Don't push your GoPro too hard. Awesome. All right. Let's wrap this up. Any other information or any other feedback for Joel?
No, go ahead with the wrap up.
Excellent. I will do so. So, Joel, thanks again for submitting this video. What we really liked in your piece is the composition of your shots and also the quality of some of your shots, like the hammerheads and some other big animal shots that we had in there. Also, the shallow reefs were really, really pretty. You had a nice variation of different shots, which we also liked a lot. Things that we think you can improve on and work on is definitely the length of the video, whether that is by compromising the video to a shorter length or dividing it into several individual parts will both be helpful in, I think, retaining more of your viewers' attention in the video. And hence having viewers stick longer with your content. We think you could also work a little more on the color correction and matching these individual clips to one another, so it seems more like a uniform piece that you're presenting here. And as we mentioned before, please do not advertise unsafe diving practices by showing like an exceeded MOD on your dive computer or anything like that. It's not good for the dive operator. It doesn't really shine a very good light on yourself either. So just try to keep that out. That's just a suggestion, obviously, from us. And that's our little wrap up here. So again, thanks for submitting and having us review this video here within the series. We hope that we were able to give you some useful feedback and some tips and tricks for your next piece that you're hopefully going to be creating very, very soon. Now, if anyone else out there has a underwater film that they've created and they would like us to review within this series, you can just send us a link to the uploaded film to contact@matthiaslebo.com and we'll be more than happy to watch it, review it and publish it here on the channel. Other than that, I don't have much more to say.
Other than see you next week.
See you next Thursday. Until then, guys, keep capturing all your awesome underwater adventures. If there is any questions, comments, or anything like that, leave them down in the comment section below. Have an awesome week, and the two of us, we will see you next Thursday, right here at the channel, same time, same place, and we're looking forward to seeing you here. Take care. See you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.